shift. Let's see if John can call back.
Yeah.
In the meantime, let's talk to Michael in Buffalo, New York. Michael, you're live with Eric and Daryl.
Hey, what's going on, Eric and Daryl? How are you guys today?
Hey.
Doing great. Thanks for
Doing
calling.
well. It is like this nice kind of overcast day. It's perfect for like fuzzy pajamas and hot chocolate and board games, and I'm stoked. I think that's what I'm going to do after
I didn't
this.
get any of those this morning.
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We are fixing that after this show.
Good. I need hot
Yes.
chocolate.
Right? Michael, sorry. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, in Buffalo, it should be ice cold freezing right now, and it's a sunny spring day, so this might be evidence of global warming.
Could well be. You guys usually have 4 feet of snow. Yep.
Exactly.
But what did you want to talk about? What's up, man?
Well, I found that funny what Jerry was saying, because I was thinking of Nostradamus myself, and I'm like, well, you know what? The prophecy with Nostradamus could be true, and I could apply it to several things that's happening in Egypt and China and North Korea right now, and the end of the world's coming, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, well...
And he was saying, like, how the Bible was true, you know, and the prophecies is real and all that, and doesn't seem like it's the case.
Well, you know, what's interesting is, you know, that's just one of the blocks. That's just one of the bricks. But it is an easy brick to kind of nail when you start sitting down and sifting through it, because you wouldn't accept me telling you, hey, I performed a miracle yesterday. That is totes true. You know, it's true because I wrote it down. You know,
right?
That we should have.
And you had the guy next to you witness it.
Yeah, absolutely. But you can't talk to that person. I wrote down that they witnessed it in my book too. Actually, 500 people.
I can't witness it though.
Well, you're witnessing the book, aren't you, Michael? Yeah. You're a religious person calling in.
Yes, sir.
What's your take, man?
Well, I'm a big fan of Aaron Ra. Are you guys familiar with Aaron Ra?
Yeah, he's a friend.
Yeah, good friend.
Yeah, and I watch him a lot. But I can't let go of my God belief, because I think it's one major thing that comes to the front of my mind right now. And humans, since the beginning of time, seem to just pray to some type of a God. It's like in our human nature to look to the skies and pray. And we don't have evidence of it, but it's just like in us, you know, to do that and to just shut that off and be like, I don't have evidence of it. I'm just going to shut this part of me off. I just can't get myself to it yet, you know?
Well, I don't think that should be the reason that you get there.
Right.
So what is the pareidolia? Do you know what pareidolia is?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
Is it pareidolia, Daryl?
I'm not sure.
No, it's looking into the clouds and seeing animals and shapes, right? Seeing a face in the tall grass.
Seeing the face in the tall grass.
Interesting. Yeah.
Right. Or you wake up and you threw your jacket on the chair and you got up to go to the restroom and it scared the shit out of you, which absolutely happened to me this week. But that is something that we are just hardwired to have.
Why is that, though? Because you don't see that with
because there's an evolutionary advantage.
Reptiles.
You do. You do.
Praying to gods and stuff?
No. Hold on. So there are a lot of pieces that kind of build up there. But first, why do we see things when there aren't things? Because there's an advantage to seeing it.
Right.
And that is that you get away from predators or potential predators. You get away from potentially dangerous situations. It's the same reason why, there's an evolutionary advantage to the fucking anxiety that so many of us have, myself included. Mm-hmm. That those are things that we, that benefited us before we started building civilizations. So you can see that in animals, right? I've seen, a gazelle on the savannah who, just gets spooked and everything runs. And was there an actual predator? No, maybe, probably, maybe, but they go. Right? Because it's better to be safe than sorry when it comes to that. And so our brains are kind of wired that way to see intent when there isn't necessarily intent. Now, there's another piece there too, and that is that we abhor not knowing things. And it's a reason why I often say that I don't know is the most intellectually honest thing a person can do, is because we live in a culture and society where I don't know is generally not accepted. And so what did we do?
Especially with me, I want to know things, and it sucks that I don't know things.
I agree. And, you know, as hunter-gatherer types, right, we took a look and we saw lightning and didn't know what it was. And so we gave it.
We thought it was Zeus. We thought it was a god.
Exactly, until we learned more. And as we've kind of learned more and more about natural processes, that definition of the God has changed over time. Daryl, you were saying.
Yeah, let me give two other psychological explanations.
Please.
I mean, they both build on what you talked about. First of all, I would recommend a book by Jack Wathy, a friend of mine, Jack Wathy, psychologist, The Illusion of God's Presence. It's an excellent book. Will help explain some of this. But the other piece is...
Illusion of God's Presence?
Yeah, The Illusion of God's Presence. Jack Wathy, W-A-T-H-E-Y. Good book, good psychologist. But the second piece is, imagine you're a child in the savannah, and remember, our brains are not that far from the savannah of Africa, less than 60,000 years, maybe even less than that for many of us. And your parents say, don't go over there into those bushes because there's lions over there and they will eat you. So as a child, your survival depends upon listening to the adults in your life, your parents, your uncles, your village elders and stuff. Those same people say, don't go over into those bushes because there's demons and devils over there. Now that 3 or 4-year-old child, how does it know which is true? It doesn't.
Right.
So the most important thing for that child to do is to survive. So the child's not going to go into the lion bushes, and it's not going to the demon bushes. And you know what? That child's going to believe both of them equally. And when they become adults, they're going to carry that belief structure on with them, and they're going to teach their children that belief structure. So
that's what's happening in today's day and age, too. You see, why are you a Christian? Because my family is. Why are you a Buddhist? Because I'm born in India and everyone's Buddhist. You see that happen in today exactly like that a lot.
Exactly. The biggest predictor of your religion is your parents' religion, at least 90%. Exactly. So what I'm telling you is there's a real, just as Eric said, there's a real deep biological reason for the things you're talking about. We have our brains abhor a vacuum. Our brains want to know, and so we make shit up. I mean, you look at the clouds and you make shit up. You look in the bush, you make shit up. We do this all the time. And that's why humans are so good at fooling themselves. We are incredibly good.
Yeah, like as a child, I always thought that there were ghosts in my bedroom and I would be terrified, but I never saw them, you know?
Well, and you know, misascribing something can lead to that as well. I can give you so many stories, but what pops into my head most is kind of growing up in a Latino community. For those of you who ever learned about La Llorona or the Cucuy, we're really...
The Cucuy, the boogeyman.
You know the Cucuy?
Yeah.
As an atheist, you know, it's creepy, you know, and there are ghost stories that we still share. We're just not that far off. And it's just kind of where we're at. But I want to kind of bring this around full circle. Well,
can I say something real quick, or do you want to finish?
No, go ahead. What's up?
Before I forget, like, if I were to, I think the closest thing to humans would be monkeys, right? We don't see monkeys.
No, it would be great apes.
Altars up. Yeah, great apes. We don't see them putting altars and doing burnt sacrifices and worshiping something that isn't there. It just seems to be human-like.
Well,
you know,
not quite. Everywhere you have social creatures, you have, you know, different in and out group dynamics. In fact, there were a lot of studies done with, what are the capuchin monkeys?
Yeah, right.
And this kind of innate sense of fairness,
right?
And what they view as fair, and punishing people or punishing others in the tribe that, you know, they viewed did something unfair to the group. There are a lot of those mechanics that it's just not that far off.
And remember,
I
there's
saw one where they had a mourning process about one monkey that died too. I don't know if it's the same type of monkeys, but that was compelling watching that.
Yeah, and elephants, the same thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, elephants especially.
The mourning piece. Also, don't discount ritualistic behavior. We see ritualistic behavior in other animals, even birds sometimes. And
like how?
Going through certain procedures that are unnecessary. You know, we can actually teach a bird to go through a whole lot of rituals in order to get a reward. And humans go through all sorts of rituals. I mean, to get rain, we get people dancing all around and praying all around to get rain. We know damn good and well it doesn't get rain.
Did that.
But monkeys, great apes, we've observed ritualistic behavior in those as well.
It would be good if you wanted to research a little bit more into that. Check out, what was his first name? Skinner.
Oh, yeah, B.F. Skinner.
B.F. Skinner,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
B.F. Skinner?
Yes.
The father of behavioral psychology.
It is amazing the kinds of things that, different creatures will do if they think that that's what is going to cause the reward. And so you have birds that are spinning 2 times counterclockwise and pecking the floor 3 times because they think that's when the
Once you realize how easy it is to train animals to behave ritualistically, and then you look at yourself and you realize people who say, if I prayed Hail Mary 15 times this week, I'll get a pay raise, and then they get the pay raise, they're going to start praying.
Oh, my God, the Hail Marys worked.
Yeah, it does. We tend to say that what happens in our environment is the cause of other things that happen in our environment. And to some degree, that's true.
There could be a disorder, too, with the OCD people having to tap the door 3 times before they leave,
Right. Absolutely. And you can see OCD kind of behavior happening in animals as well. Remember, our brains and our DNA are not that much different than other animals like the great apes.
Right.
Yeah. But wow, that was actually a whole lot of educational stuff. I'm really glad you called, Michael.
Yeah, thanks. That was good.
Yeah, I'm really nervous, man, but I'm trying my best.
Hey, you did a great job.
You did awesome, for sure. We're just.
Well, I got my ammunition. I'm going to look up B.F. Skinner here, and then The Illusion of God's Presence.
Right.
And
Awesome.
I'm going to look into that more to try to combat this God belief I still have.
Well,
okay.
So
if you need to, chat in with our chat line at recoveringfromreligion.org and just have this same discussion with one of our agents. And they're not there to they're not there to go either way with you. They will give you a ton more resources than I've just given you.
And it is absolutely true. When I was training, that was one of the things that was front and center. You are not here to evangelize or proselytize. This is a place for you to be able to support people and talk to them. So that is an amazing resource. Michael, I want you to believe the things you believe for the right reasons. And education should always be front and center. And so the fact that you're wanting to educate yourself, I want you to have those tools, and I want you to come to that conclusion because it's the right conclusion, not because we said so.
Gotcha. Hey, man, I hope you feel better mentally and all that. Be strong.
I'm taking it a day at a time, my friend, but thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, you guys have a great day. God bless. No pun intended.
All right. Well, Flying Spaghetti Monster bless you, too. So there you go.
Take care.
Right. Bye now.
What's funny is every once in a while I'll have somebody angrily say, "God bless you."
Angrily, that's always interesting.
but kind of passive aggressively. Well, God bless you. Especially out here in the South.
Oh yeah.
And especially if they know that I'm an atheist. One of the things that I've seen that has had the most impact is when I look them in the eye and I say, I understand what that means to you. And that's one way of you telling me that you love me. And I appreciate that. I love you too. And the smirk drops because you gave them something human.
Yeah, right.
And I never got a sarcastic, well, God bless you from a single person I've ever done that to. Now, I know that's just my anecdotal experience.
That's pretty cool.
But
I know, I love it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You're taking that and you're going, you know what?
Just turn it on their head.
Yeah. And practicing just a little bit of charitable listening.
I think that's what Jesus meant when he said, heap burning coals of fire on their head. Do you remember that verse?
No, I don't.
Yeah, Jesus said that, yeah. Supposedly. I don't believe there was a Jesus. So,
But it's
the fact
in the book.
is, yeah, it's in the book. The fact is, turn it over. Don't dwell on it. Don't make it. Good job. I like that idea. I'm going to steal that.
Do.
So now you stole something from me.
Yep.
I'll steal something from you.
I love it. Well, I mean, this is a 2,000-year-old argument. I'd be very surprised if we came up with a whole lot.